But working with Upekkha, when we meditate, the traditional phrases are heirs to their karma. I don't use that one a lot, like on retreat when I teach, because a lot of people get triggered by that. The idea of karma really gets people kind of wound up. I'll just take those, thanks. Gets people wound up. People will often ask questions on retreat if I'm using that traditional phrase. Well, what about kids that get cancer or something like this? We can make it sound like heirs to the karma, as though they deserve it somehow, and that again is triggering to people. And I try to stay away from talking about karma as much as possible. It's incredibly complicated. Paul Excider wrote a book on it, which I have, and I've never been able to read. It's so dense. There's so much from the Abhidhamma in there, which is the psychological understanding Buddhism or Theravada Buddhism has of human psyche, and it's just very, very complicated stuff. So I tell people, imagine a big whiteboard and one of those math problems that you can't solve, and imagine that the numbers are constantly changing. That's karma. So whatever the result is, that's where you live. That's the easy answer. So I prefer the alternative phrase, just to accept the truth of the moment. So acceptance is sort of what I use. But anyway, you can use whatever support phrase. The phrases are to help you stay focused. I know there are teachers that teach that the phrase is the meditation, and it's not. It's just like we do with breath awareness. We may use counting or the long and short to stay focused on the breath, but it's not the object itself. So as soon as you're getting concentrated, as soon as you can stay with the meditative object without serious interruption, you can start reducing. Like I reduced the support phrase down to one word then. Like with metta, the tradition or the alternative phrase, be safe, healthy, happy, live with ease, be liberated. I just go to one word each. And then I get to where I'm feeling the energetic quality of the word, so I let go of the word even. And just stay with that energetic sense of the practice if you need it, that support. Upekkha normally starts with a neutral person, and the idea is that they're going to be easier for us to accept because we don't have history, we don't know a lot about them. The postal carrier, the grocery store clerk. But I find some people get really snagged with the neutral person because they want more. They want to know more about them. And so they're constantly imagining or adding content to their lives or who they are. And I think to make them more interesting too to work with. But so if that's you, then go ahead and start with a benefactor when you practice this. And the benefactor is somebody who's been a mentor or a teacher, supervisor, just somebody who's given you good advice or guidance when you needed it. So let's practice Upekkha for a few minutes. So go ahead and think of a couple of either neutral people or benefactors in your life. And I say a couple because if somebody seems like they're getting sort of dry, you want to move on to somebody who feels juicy. At least in the home practice. In retreat, you might stay longer. And the reason we have the sequence of beings is because the practices purify our relationship to those groups. We're not changing them at all. Maybe we are, but basically we're not. But we're changing us. And so if we have a thing about one of the groups, this is where it helps working the groups. And we're lessening. So the meditative object is seeing things as they are, seeing the truth of karma. And again, we'll start with, you can pick either a neutral person or a benefactor. What's similar to it, but not equanimity, is indifference. The main distinction, equanimity is going to have a warmth, a connectivity. Indifference is going to be, oh, look at that, going to be cold and separating. So that's going to be the difference. If it's indifference, you really won't care. Where with equanimity, it'll be more intimate, is how you'll feel it. And resistance is resentment, greed, and anxiety about the uncontrollability of life. So just noticing if you have resentment or greed in particular coming up, then that's something just to acknowledge and accept. So go ahead and start with some belly breaths as usual, just settling into your seat. Just releasing anything that's catching your attention that's not the practice. It'll be here later if you want to work with it, but for now we can let it go. Start with feeling your contact with the floor, relaxing as deeply into your seat as is comfortable. Bringing awareness to the hara. That's about 2 finger widths below the belly and 2 or 3 finger widths in from the surface of the skin. When you're in the hara, just really be present. Don't view it as a place where I'm going to be moving from here to the heart in a few minutes. Just really land in the hara and fully let awareness open. Feeling the quiet, the non-conceptual quality of the hara. The settled seatedness that it affords us. We're much more embodied when we have awareness of the hara. On the next in-breath, invite awareness into the heart area. And we're opening to that deep acceptance of equanimity. And in that acceptance is recognizing that we don't control everything. We're one person in a sea of people and other beings. So just sense into the heart area, seeing if you can make contact with the quality of acceptance here. Accepting everything exactly as it is. Not wanting to improve or change anything or anyone. Notice in your system if you're feeling any resistance to acceptance. Just welcoming that resistance if that's here. Accept the resistance. Let yourself feel what it's like to fully accept something, which is this moment. Release any urges you have to have things be different. Any way that it might be better for you. This is what's happening. This is the moment we're all in. On the next in-breath, invite awareness to the wisdom eye, called the Dharma eye in the Zen tradition. Feel the quality of acceptance there too. Accepting whatever activity is here or inactivity. Accepting any perceptions you're sensing or witnessing from the wisdom eye. Accepting if you're not feeling anything. Acceptance means no resistance. Let yourself relax any inner barriers, any ways that you brace against the world. Let your sense of self get to be soft and pliable, accommodating. And bring awareness to the crown chakra. Noticing whether the crown chakra feels open to you or perhaps it feels closed. Accepting whatever your experience is. If the crown chakra seems to be closed, are you sensing any resistance? Any ideas, I don't want to open. I don't want to feel vulnerable. I don't want to not know. Those are resistances. You can sense any contact with the Absolute, any peace, stillness, love, presence. If any of those are present, just let that be here. And returning to the heart area. For the visual meditators, as you work with a benefactor or a neutral person, you want to picture their face in your heart area or in front of your heart area, whichever feels most comfortable to you. For the felt sense meditators, how does it feel to be with that person? If you're at the grocery store and it's a clerk there, if you shut your eyes for a moment when you're near them, how can you tell they're there? What's their energy like to you? So recall that, feeling it in the heart area also. Accepting that how you feel, how you sense their presence is accurate. If you want to use a support phrase to stay focused on this other, you can use the heirs to the karma if that works for you, or accept the truth at this moment. Acceptance. If you find the support phrase cumbersome, then you don't need to use it. If you find the object of your meditation, the person, gets a little flat energetically, then switch to someone else in the same category of being. We'll sit silently for a little bit, then I'll ring the bell. And don't give in to creating a story for the neutral people. Stay with the fact you don't fully know if your perception is accurate, but you have a take on them. Feel how acceptance feels to you. Perhaps a relaxing, an ease. Maybe a part of you is resistant or uncomfortable. Accept that too. That's just your way. Accept everything that's happening in your experience right now. If at any point you find you're getting distracted or drowsy or sleepy, accept that too. Which doesn't mean fall asleep, but accept that that's what's here. That's your experience. If you have clarity and awakeness, accept that too. That's what's here. If the being you're working with feels to be getting kind of stale or flat, then switch to another person, somebody who you can feel some energy towards.